Hello you guys and welcome to my channel. My name is Charity and you're watching Booked on Charity. If you're here for the very first time, thank you for choosing me. I hope that you stay long enough to subscribe to my channel, and if you're returning, thank you for choosing me again. So today we are going to do my March TBR slash possibility pile slash books that are on my radar. Okay, I do have a couple of books here with me, so I've got 14 books. Yeah, so I have 14 books that I want to show you guys. So some of the books that I'm going to show you are books from an e-library hosted by Pretty X Bookish that I definitely have to read in the month of March because they need to be returned in the first week of April. And then the second pile of books is books that I'm actually currently busy with, books that I'm currently reading. And then the last stack is books that I haven't started but wish to start in March. I think I actually I forgot one. Let me add one. I've got 15 books. Give it a nice round number. Okay, so I'm gonna start with the books that I am currently reading, and it's this pile over here. So the book that I'm like on my number one reading list right now is Black Leopard, and this is by Dean Atta. So I started this book yesterday and I'm currently on page 241, so I definitely think I'm gonna finish this today. This book is amazing. It's written in verse, so it's very easy and very quick to get through, and I am enjoying it very, very much. Definitely a higher 4-star, close to 5-star rating that I am already seeing with this book. The next book that I am busy with is The Pride of Nule, and this is by Shanice Ndlovu. Where am I? Let me see. I finished, so this is a short story book, or a book with short stories, and I have finished 4 books, so I've got 3 short stories to finish, so I'm currently on page 103. Some of the short stories are really great. Some of them are just like meh, so we'll see how the end goes. It's quite a small book, but it's taking me a while to read. I think because of the writing style, it's quite lyrical, so I feel like it's beautifully written, but at the same time it makes it difficult to read. So yeah, it's not that easy to read, but it has some nice stories in there. The next book that I'm busy with is The Shadow King, and this is by Mazamengiste, and I am only on page 68 of this book. This book is taking me quite some time to read, like it's a little bit slow, but only because it's a historical fiction, so it's based on a lot of factual events. And as I go through it, I'm actually also like Googling and doing research, because I'm not a history student, so I don't know a lot of research. So I'm taking my time learning and exploring this book. So far so good. It started off rough. I thought it would be so difficult to read because also the writing style in here was a little bit tricky. Let's call it that. It was a little bit tricky, and so I thought I would have a hard time with it, and I actually put the book down when I was like on page 6 or something, and then I decided to pick it up because I have to get through it. I need to get through this book, and once I started getting into the book, it's actually getting quite interesting, so I need to finish this. I'm probably gonna continue with it after finishing the Black Flamingo. And then the 4th book that I'm not gonna say actively reading, because I am actively reading those 3 that I just mentioned, but this is also a book that I'm busy with. I just wanted to finish the other ones before I can continue with it, and this is Gods of Jaden's Shadow by Sylvia Moreno Garcia. and I am currently on page 110, which is the same page that I was on probably in my last TBR. Excuse me. But anyway, this is a fantasy, and I'm trying to finish off all the other books that I'm currently reading at the same time, because I feel like I need to give my full attention to this one on its own, because I feel like I'm not gonna, my rating for this book is not going to be true if I'm not giving it the full attention that it needs. Yeah, I feel like I'm going to be robbing it if I'm going in and out of it. So when I'm in the mood for it, I want to go into it and I want to finish it. It's not very difficult to read, but sometimes I feel like I have no idea what the author is saying and I'm just moving past it. But otherwise, the story is interesting to me and I'm looking forward to finishing it. Okay, the next pile of books are a definite need to be read in March, and the first one is Being Lily, and this is by Kanita Loxton. This is a South African writer, and buddy reading this book with some bookstagrammers, and I will link their pages in the description box down below. This is the second book in the Being series. So the first one is Being Kari, which is this one, which is this book right here, and I buddy read this with Bokamoso, Umpile from Bokamoso on Bookstagram, and yeah, it was a nice read. So the second book is Being Lily, so we're gonna read this for the month of March, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. And then the next book that I want to pick up is 69 Jerusalem Street, and this is by Lindiwe Nkuta. This is another South African writer, and I think this is also a series of short stories. There are 2, 4, 6, there's 8 short stories in here. It's quite a thin book. It's like 144 pages, so I hope that it's an easy, quick read and not difficult or written in a way that makes it harder to read such a thin book. The next book, I didn't actually mention, the Black Flamingo is a book that I've borrowed from Pretty X Bookish e-library, and the next 3 books are also borrowed from the e-library that I have to read in March so that I can return them for other books in April. So the second one that I borrowed from her is When We Left Cuba, pretty cover, by Chanel Clayton. I have no idea what the book's about. I haven't started it, but it does seem like it's an easy read. I think it might be a quick read and a nice contemporary. I don't know if it's a romance or what. Apparently this is a Reese Witherspoon's book club pick, so it ought to be good. We shall see. The next book I have is The Tattooist of Auschwitz, and this is by Heather Morris. I've actually been seeing this book in my local bookstore, and I've been wanting to pick it up for some time, but for some reason I never did pick it up. When I look at the pages, it looks like it could be a quick read as well. There's like not a lot of words on the book, so I hope it's interesting. I really hope it is. Okay, and the last book that we have from the e-library is 10 minutes 38 seconds in this strange world, and this is by Elif Shafak. Apparently this is from the best-selling author of the 40 Rules of Love. I have never read that book. I don't know I'm not sure what this is about. So it says, what if after the moment of death, the human mind continues to work for a few more precious minutes? 10 minutes, 38 seconds exactly. Okay, so I don't know, it seems like it could be interesting. I'm looking forward to it. I know that Sharon Mundia's book club, they read this for the month of February, and they said that it's a good read, so I'm really looking forward to it. Okay, and on to my third pile, which is my wish list pile, if you can call it that, because I've already spoken to you guys about 2, 4, 5. So I've already spoken to you guys about 9 books, and so the rest are nice to haves for the month of March, but everything else that I've spoken to you guys about at this point, I need to read. So on my first nice to haves, I've got The Great Believers by Rebecca Mackay, and yes, I know it is on my TBR for the second month in a row because I really do want to read this book and I'm just not getting the chance to do it. And February proved to be quite a busy month, and yeah, I didn't read a lot. But I know that this book centered around HIV and AIDS around the 1980s. So I'm always looking forward to reading books like these to educate myself even more. And I think it's a queer story as well. So really looking forward to The Great Believers. I've heard really great things about it. And then the next book I have is Black Leopard, Red Wolf by Marlon James, and this is an adult fantasy that I've been wanting to get into for a long time. And if you noticed, I've only have one fantasy that I've spoken about thus far, which is Gods of Jade and Shadow. So I don't actually have a lot of fantasy selections for the month, and I need to give myself that option because yeah, I need a little bit of fantasy every single month. And I realized I actually don't have a lot of fantasy books. I've been now collecting a lot of contemporary books, and I need to up my fantasy game because this is not on. But yeah, Black Leopard, Red Wolf by Marlon James, which is volume 1 of the Dark Star trilogy, and my voice is getting even more husky by the second, but we love it. And yeah, so I'm looking forward to this book. It's quite a thick book. It's like 600 pages. Yeah, it's a little over 600 pages long, and because it's the first book in a series, I've been hearing that it can seem a bit slow, and maybe there's a huge chunk where maybe they're explaining a lot of stuff, but I think I could appreciate that, seeing that it's a trilogy, so when you get into the next book then you know what's happening. It would be nice though to have all 3 books all at once so that you can continue the story without any breaks, but I don't know when the rest of the series is coming out, but maybe I'll reread when the rest of the books come out and I can revise on this trilogy. The next book that I want to read is An Absolutely Remarkable Thing, which is, I think, it's not really, how do I classify this book? Is it fantasy? Is it sci-fi? I don't know. I don't know how to classify this book. I'm gonna check on Storygraph. Let me see. An absolutely remarkable thing. So it says fiction, contemporary, LGBTQIA+, science fiction, and speculative fiction. So yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, okay. Now that we've got that sorted, that was An Absolutely Remarkable Thing by Hank Green. I don't have the second book yet, but as soon as I'm done with this, I would want to pick up the second book because I heard that they are really great. The next book I have, which is another contemporary, is Evie Drake Starts Over, and this is by Linda Holmes. So I think this is gonna be a nice, cute contemporary read. I have no idea what it's about. Clearly Evie Drake has to start over because of something that possibly happened, and we shall find out when I read the book, because I'm not gonna read the synopsis and spoil it for myself. But looking at the writing and the wording, seems like it's gonna be an easy read. I love easy reads. I don't like to like struggle while reading a book, you guys. I don't want to like read a book and then have to have a dictionary right next to me to figure out what the author's saying. Just keep it simple. I just want to get into the story and yeah, have fun. The next book that I have is The Theory of Flight, and this is by Siphiwe Ndlovu. This is also like, this book has been on my TBRs for I don't know how long, and I seriously need to get into it because I actually recently received the second book, which is the History of Man, I believe is the name. I won that book in a competition hosted by Penguin Random House. So yeah, maybe I should read them together. Do you guys think that I should do a reading vlog? I've never done reading vlogs before. I've never done reading vlogs before because I'm hardly alone in the house. There's always my daughter roaming around. So I don't know, maybe I'll read both of them at the same time. No, well, not at the same time obviously, but one after the other and do a reading vlog. I don't know, we'll have to see when the time comes, if I even get to this book this month. Can you see my stack growing? Okay. The second last book, because I'm actually now gonna add book 16 because I just remembered that I wanted to add more fantasy to my reading for this month. Oh my god. Okay, anyway, Three Women by Lisa Tadeo for the 750th time since I've started doing TBRs. It's back. It is back. And I don't know if I'll get to it this month either, but you guys, I really hope that I do. I mean, I read 5 books a month and I'm about to give you 16 books for March. Clearly I'm setting myself up for failure, but obviously it's just a matter of me having options and being able to pick up whatever I want to read from these 16 books, and we see how that's gonna go, because yeah, I'm definitely not gonna read all these books. That's why I have them in different stacks. But yeah, I really want to get into Three Women. I've been talking about this book for so long. You guys are probably even tired of hearing me say that I want to read this book, because I never actually get to read it because other things happen, and then other books like take priority at some point. But yeah, I really want to get into this book, hopefully really soon. The last book that I am going to add to my TBR that I had forgotten about, which makes it book number 16, is Kingdom of Souls by Rena Barron. So I've heard some mixed reviews on this book. Some people say it's really good, some people are saying it's okay. They expected better, but I want to see how I feel about it on my own. I have no idea what the story is about, and that's exactly how I want to go into it. So yeah, I'm gonna add it to my TBR for the month of March. And that is it, you guys, for my video. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it so far in this video, please leave me a book stack emoji down below. And thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Let me know which books I should read first. Let me know what you liked best, and maybe that will help me in making my decisions as to what to read. So yeah, leave me a comment down below, like, comment obviously, and subscribe obviously to my channel, and I'll see you guys the next time I upload a video. Bye.